heavy favorite in this format. But keep in mind, Supershocky has been practicing a lot of zone battle, and especially since they've definitely started kind of showcasing things since last year's Square One. They have really bumped up their ability in zone battle to perform really consistently at a close to top level. And being able to pull games off of a lot of big names is not something you see on a regular basis. But, Shocky just keeps finding ways to improve time and time again, even as the rest of the scene seems to keep getting better as well. Shocky just keeps making waves time and time again.
Yeah, Shocky is kind of... Yeah, Shocky, the...
Oh my goodness,
the enhance of... Oh my goodness, what? OSW, what are you doing, dude?
Is that a skip?
No way you get it. No way he gets out. Oh, he uses... Okay. Good IRS to get out of that, but I don't think you're getting out of this situation entirely. Nope.
I will say it was almost enough for a zone charge. I think OSW had 4 line clears out of the 6. But just maybe don't leave it till the last eyepiece to expect to...
Yeah, don't upstack that much, maybe? Okay, yep, doing the exact opposite, getting an all clear right off the bat.
Okay, we do have a lot of heavy misdrops there from OSW, although at the very least, the early all clear was slightly more beneficial in preventing some early mishaps without a zone charge. So to everyone at home, keep in mind, best advice to avoid dropping early rounds. Get your first quarter of zone charge. You don't want to lose in 5 seconds.
Yeah, zone charge being kind of the name of the game, really. Like zone battle, zone battle is... I don't want to say it's about having zone, but zone is very, very pivotal.
It's not about having zone, it's about your zone management, which involves also having zone, but what you're doing when you don't have zone.
OSW with a cut copy at the ready. Shocky doesn't have the best pieces to clear. Board state is fine, but bad pieces. Manages to neutralize OSW's incoming attack. It's actually, honestly, it's actually really crazy to see how Shocky's playing in this situation against OSW. Managing to get the down stacks here, you can tell Shocky's using his knowledge of the other games to get into this. But I mean, all the games have misdrops in common, and that's what that's what stopped Shocky that round.
With that one, I will say. I've been told OSW has basically gone through the 5 stages of grief when it comes to their misdrops on occasion. I guess I triggered another one right there. But as you can see, OSW just figures out a way to
the thing is, OSW goes through the 5... You say OSW goes through the 5 stages of grief, and look at how he resolves this! That is so greedy, that is so messed up,
half zone pop. Interesting.
If Tetris existed in ancient Greece, the gods would smite you for your hubris.
No, that is accurate. OSW trying to build a 4-wide, taking one out of Jaden's book, but unfortunately has a couple of misdrops. So it's not going to be the most effective.
And then there's the misdrop T-spin from Shocky.
But I think Shocky, at the very least, is going to at least have an out of the situation, so we are going to see a little bit of...
look at this down stack. Very clean down stack. Back to the bottom here.
And especially because OSW spent a lot of time just... I mean, obviously they did have the, T-spin triple tower, but a lot of those quarter zones and such adds up to not as many points as fast. So OSW may have a little bit of difficulty immediately pushing it into Phase 3 unless they have an extremely efficient zone, or just delay sending that zone as well. Which, as you can see right now, I think OSW is in no rush to send zone. And at the very least...
Ooh, Shocky getting close to the top there. Okay, just...
Oh, interesting! OSW takes no garbage despite that this is Phase 2, and that would be a clean receive.
Yeah, I guess just doesn't want to deal with it later, because we are getting to Phase 3 here. And I think if... Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess
this is a bad... This is an awkward start for Shocky in the Phase 3.
Oh, no, they had
that's a lot of garbage! Shocky still has zone, still gonna be able to use something that... Oh, I'm tense about this. Yeah. Shocky, I mean, Shocky did a fantastic job of trying to manage that for the most part, but like, there's only... It's just like borrowed time there. Like, there's only so much you could have done.
The difficult part of playing defense, especially once you get to phase 3, is that you end up falling in kind of like the inescapable issue where you'll have to be skimming a lot to counter all of the immediate garbage you're receiving, but that gives your opponent an incredible amount of flexibility to keep sending you garbage. So it's kind of like the best way out is you just have to eat a lot more than you're willing to just get in a position where you're allowed to play a little bit more flexible. But you need to make that decision immediately before it's too late, because it can very easily spiral out of control.
Yeah, it's so fragile. Just like, that line is so thin. You're...
Okay, well, I think Shocky tried to do a little bit of that, but you also need to make sure you have enough room to get a good zone in.
You also want to make sure you're not, like, overstacking. Shocky does have the room, but is honestly going to be at a pretty major disadvantage.
There is a down stack into a...
Yeah, there is a down stack here, but there is...
Nope, there we go. This is why we down stack in phase 2 and then figure it out in phase 3. This is
both these players very familiar with the zone. Shocky knows his IRS, so he's going to be able to do that. Honestly, probably took the pages.
Yeah, and OSW as well, 56,000 points. That was about to turn into phase 3 garbage, and would not have made the
APM matching Shocky's speed.
Let's see.
Okay, I mean, Shocky's kind of knowledge of like more than just like guideline Tetris is really, I think, doing him a lot of favors in this kind of matchup, because I feel like he's taking his taking books of like taking a page of like survivability out of the book of like TGM, which he is Grandmaster in TGM 3.
A little misstep there for OSW. It's getting
familiar with
complicated.
Familiar with awkward stacks and everything.
That was a really hard commit with the Z in order to get that T-spin doubled, but given that it's OSW, I think that was definitely a good decision. It's just that it's a terrifying decision to make of just, I'm going to fix this later, I promise myself, but it looks terrifying when you have to make that gamble in real time.
Like, if that were any other person, I don't know if that would have happened.
Hold on. OSW has to try and find a way to recover.
Managed to salvage the T-spin.
And pulls an ulti as well.
With a very quick ulti, 55 attack. Oh my... Shocky, that's going to be a lot to bite off. And the one Mino blocking off the well. Are you serious?
Oh no, Shocky, that's...
Oh no, and the T-spin...
We have an opening.
Okay, still an out.
I don't like that.
Okay, manages to neutralize the rest. Okay.
Yeah, it's like, it's... Especially when you have like one giant column where you just need a bunch of eyepieces for, it's really difficult to keep skimming on top of that and always leave it open. But thankfully, Supershocky had enough just time to kind of deal with all of that pressure that they didn't really get put under that much of a difficult spot. But Shocky needs to end this now. Well,
Shocky's kind of in the middle of the zone. That's a weird T placement. Manages to get rid of the phase 3 garbage, which is good.
And actually, that extra time in zone, it looks like they used that in order to just counter all of that. At first, I thought that Shocky was going to be in a heavy deficit. So my initial thought was going to be, you're probably going to want to play around that by just tanking it in phase 2. But because OSW sent so early and just, kind of delved into all their resources, Shocky went the long route trying to counter everything. But obviously for phase 3, OSW just delved right back into that speed card to claw back that victory.
And here we are, match point. Let's see if Shocky can take...
Alright, little hole in the stack right now for Shocky. Able to clean up, though.
Yeah, pretty solid stack here.
Oh, OSW, this is a beautiful well right now. The garbage is complementing things perfectly. Maybe not the missed drops, but still getting the fractal into the Tetris.
That's an awkward S missed drop on Shocky's board. Gonna use zone to try and fix that up, but that might leave Shocky at a pretty heavy deficit, especially ending zone that early without the T-spin.
OSW just took the old zone meter.
I saw Shocky had the space to make a side 4 wide, but chose the path of light and just did not do it.
The path of light. I mean, it is phase 2. Keep in mind, the 4 wide will send cheese in phase 2, so it does have its uses. But it is definitely a strategy you can't just mess around with just because it looks good or feels right.
Yeah, you have to be able to commit to it. And I think Shocky was just more so scared of trying to be able to commit to it rather than like, you know, not being an quote-unquote evil player.
Again, it's just like any good punchline for, you know, a dad joke. You gotta commit to the bit for it to land the same way.
Like, follow through.
I guess that's probably a better way of phrasing it, yeah, but... Alright, right now, OSW, very low garbage right now. Shocky has to keep up with these T-spin singles and down stacks. We have another eyepiece dependency, though, for Shocky. Manages to count to 4, but this back-to-back, OSW is going to try and keep sending garbage little by little. T-spin double on the down stack is vital right now for Shocky's survival.
Yeah, Shocky needs to squeeze in every single line of efficiency he can possibly get. Gets another T-spin double so precariously close to the top.
Oh, we do have down stack. Oh,
and
no.
More down stacks, but the queue is unending. OSW with the relentless pressure.
Shocky
gonna be able to take it. Moving on to face Jaden in winners finals.
I think there was one placement there where Shocky had a potential to keep that down stack going with a difference for the L, but it was a little bit harder because you kind of had to like, I don't know. I think with the S and Z was a really weird follow up that like forced you to play around it, but then again, trying to get a really long down stack with phase 3 cheese is just something that, you know, you're not going to be able to get every single time. And for the most part, it is a little bit of like, you just have to see when the stars align, and that's a very hard thing to get used to.